Welcome back to your Upbeat Review, where today I'm going to be talking about the Stanley's biggest ever headline show in Manchester at the Academy 2, where they were supported by the Rosellas and Shade. Before the video starts, make sure you follow our socials in the description and subscribe so you never miss an episode. First of all, I just want to say a big thank you to Ewan from Rosellas for inviting me down to watch the show. Overall, I thought it was great. I will be diving into it in a bit more detail as we do go through the review. So this is the first time I've ever seen a band at Manchester Academy 2, and overall I thought the venue was great. It is the second biggest out of the academies in Manchester. If you've not been before, there is 4. Of the academies. This is the second biggest. The capacity is around about 950, I do believe. The Stanleys overall sold 800 tickets and it was full in there, and you could tell it was a very local crowd throughout as well. Lots and lots of Wigan chants, as you would expect, with it being only a 40-minute sort of drive in from Wigan. Yeah, there was a very, very passionate, loyal home crowd, and you could tell throughout the gig. Overall, throughout the gig, I thought the sound was great. There was a few patches during the Stanley set where there was a little bit of feedback. But apart from that, I thought the sound was fantastic. So with this review, this is the first time I've seen any of the bands as well, so it's a completely fresh review for myself. Right, so with Shade, I only saw the last 3 or 4 songs of it. I did miss the opener, just because I did arrive a little bit late. Overall, I thought they were fantastic. They had a little bit of mank arrogance, which I do like. I do like it when a band shows a little bit of personality on stage, and they certainly delivered as well. So after every song, you had the front man and the bass player on the mic, really geeing the crowd up, really trying to get them involved, which I thought went really well. The crowd was responding. Around me, there was quite a few people who knew every song as well and every word, so they do have quite a loyal fan base. Obviously, they are also just from outside of Manchester, I do believe as well, so it's another sort of local band there. Highlight of Shade for me, I think, was the drummer. So to be fair, I was to the left side of the stage, so the drummer was in my eye line throughout. He was fantastic. Very, very high energy their set as well. They didn't really play any slow songs. It was high energy throughout, and the drummer was fantastic, really sort of setting the pace for the whole band. Main support was supplied by the Rosellas. I have interviewed Rosellas before. If you do want to check that out, I will leave a link down in the description. It was on Rockstars, a podcast. This was the first time I've actually seen Rosellas, and I really, really enjoyed them. Completely different approach to Shade. Shade were very sort of in-your-face mank arrogance, which I liked as well. And Rosellas really did sort of bring the tone down a little bit. Played a little bit more of a slower sort of set, which I thought flowed really well. You could tell that they do work on their sets and they sort of look at it as a whole picture. It's not just 5 individual songs. They do link all the songs together really well. At one point, I think they played for about 10 minutes where it was just continuous. The frontman, Drew, sounded very good throughout the night. Drew did mention as well that he did see a lot of sort of familiar faces. You could tell with the band as well. They were constantly acknowledging the crowd. It does show that the band is kind of increasing in popularity within Manchester, definitely. Pick of the songs for me with the Rosellas was The Same Curse, the new single. I thought it sounded really, really good live. The standout from Rosellas for me was Luis on keys. Within the Manchester music scene at this moment in time, there's not a huge amount of keyboard players that I know of myself, and to have sort of keys in there as a band is a big selling point, I think, for Rosellas. I do think he was a standout member as well throughout the band, just because it's brought something different to the set that you don't usually see, and it is sort of like a USP for Rosellas, especially when you do consider how many bands there are in Manchester trying to make a name for themselves. It is great to always have that USP. With the 2 support acts as well, there is completely no shock why this feeling really do back these 2 bands. So they sound fantastic live. They sound just the same live as they do on record, on Spotify, however you listen to your music. You can tell why this feeling are really getting behind them, because they are definitely growing in popularity as well. I did also take some videos throughout the night as well, which I will insert here. They are clips from Shade, from Rosellas, and also from Stanley's.
Side of the road, and I was scared to grow up. I fed the part in me, so my mother sat me down, so you know you'll never be lonely. It's not that easy when you're raised in the shadow. On the side, and you decide who will keep you up at night. talks about it, he never talks about the feeling grows inside. How we couldn't stop it, Lord, a hundred times a lie. Memories we call, want it now and we want it, but we won't see them no more. Makes me way down into town, like the morning the cold Lord find around, thought your feet on common ground.
So let's move on to the headliners with the Stanleys. So this is the first time that I have seen the Stanleys, and to be honest with you, I haven't listened to them long. I've only really known about them for the last few weeks. The thing I do like about Stanleys as well is they have got a very unique sound compared to sort of like the rest of the industry at this moment in time. With the Stanleys, they are completely unique. Tom is fantastic, the lead singer. He's vocally very, very strong, and his stage presence is second to none. He really, really commands the stage, constantly coming right to the front, getting the crowd involved throughout. And you can also tell that the crowd do love him as well. There was lots of shouts to him as well. You can tell that there was with it being a very local crowd, they definitely pull people in from Wigan. And you can see why. They are fantastic live. And you can also tell how proud they are to be from Wigan as well, which I do love. With the Stanleys as well, they are going from strength to strength at this moment in time. As I did say at the start of the video, this is their biggest ever headline show. They've supported the Lathams, Jamie Webster and the lottery winners in the past, constantly growing in popularity. And for me, it is an immense achievement to sell 800 tickets at a gig when you don't even have an album out. Highlights of the set for me were definitely the encore, which was What's Been and Gone and also A Better Life. I will talk about that in a bit more detail in a second, but What's Been and Gone I think was the standout song of the night. The crowd loved it. The crowd was singing back to him, and it was a really, really strong encore and sort of end to the gig. With A Better Life as well, it was fantastically done. So for the first verse and chorus of A Better Life, it was done acoustically. He alluded to the fact that he wanted to sort of emulate how it was first ever written in his bedroom, that he really kind of got the crowd on side, and obviously that is their biggest song, so the crowd were singing it back to him very, very loud. And then as soon as the band all kicked in, you could tell that it was sort of party time for the crowd, really sort of ending the gig on a high. What I also liked as well is obviously because Stanleys are sort of like an up and going band, they did actually say at the end of the gig, if you do want to come have a chat with us, we're going to be at a merch stand, which I thought was great for them to sort of meet in with a fan and sort of publicly saying, look, we're going to be here, come meet us if you want to have a quick chat. Unfortunately I couldn't, just because I did have to shoot off for the train. So overall for the whole gig as well, I thought it was fantastic. I'm definitely going to go and see all three bands again. I do want to see Shade and Rosellas do a longer set because they only had 5 songs each, I do believe, at about 25 minutes, 30 minutes. I definitely want to see both of them do a full set. And then with the Stanleys, it's only going to get bigger and better. I can 100% see them do a very similar sort of rise to the K's, and I can definitely see them sort of selling out Academy 1 100% within the next sort of 2-3 years. As soon as they do release an album as well, that's only going to sort of grow in popularity, and you can definitely see them selling out a lot bigger venues very, very soon. If you were at a gig or you have seen any of the bands I have mentioned in other cities, please let me know what you thought about them in the comments down below, or just message me on social media. Same again, if you do have any videos, please send them over to me. I do also love seeing videos from other people's viewpoints as well, especially if you were that night. And if this is your first time here on the Offbeat channel and you did like this review, please can you like this video and also comment as well, and subscribe so you never miss an episode. Check out my past content. I've done quite a few reviews now, and I also have done podcasts, both for Offbeat and also for Rockstars, a podcast. And if you are listening on Spotify, please give me a 5-star review. Really does help to push this content out to more people. And I'll see you in the next one.